Hey there, and welcome! Ever feel like economics is this big, scary, complicated word? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain. You're going to see that this entire field, from global markets all the way down to your own wallet, is really about solving one single problem that affects every single one of us. So let's get into it.
Just think about your morning today. Coffee or tea? Hit the snooze button or get up. These little things, they feel totally automatic, right? But believe it or not, they are the absolute bedrock of economics. Our entire lives are just a constant stream of these little trade-offs.
Yep, you heard that right. Every single one. Because every time you choose one thing, you are, by definition, giving up something else. And understanding that invisible calculation we're all making in our heads all the time, that's the key to the whole thing. It's not just about money, it's about choice.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll tackle the big problem that forces us to choose in the first place. Then, we'll see how that plays out in our shopping habits, our planet's health, and even our jobs. And finally, we'll unpack the simple but super powerful tool that economics gives us to handle it all.
Okay, so let's get right to the heart of the matter. Why? Why do we even have to choose? What is this fundamental conflict that drives literally every economic decision ever made?
The answer is one simple, powerful word: scarcity. And listen, this is super important. Scarcity is not the same thing as poverty. It affects everyone, rich or poor. We all have endless wants: more time, more gadgets, more experiences. But we live on a planet with a limited amount of, well, everything. That gap between what we want and what's available is what makes choice necessary.
Okay, so how does this big idea of scarcity actually show up in our daily lives? Well, let's look at a place we all know pretty well: the world of shopping. Every choice we make about what to buy or what not to buy is a direct result of scarcity. Now, this old ad is actually pretty cool because it captures this huge shift in history. For a long time, economies were just about meeting basic needs. But then we entered what's called the consumer society, where we started producing way more stuff than people actually needed. And all this stuff to buy created two totally different mindsets. On one side, you have pure consumerism, that impulsive, gotta-have-it-now buying, usually pushed on us by clever marketing. And on the other, you've got conscious consumption, which is about slowing down, thinking through what you actually need, and considering the impact of your choices. And this chart, this shows you where the rubber meets the road. It shows that even with all the flashy gadgets and endless choices out there, our money, our scarce resource, still has to cover the big three: food, a roof over our heads, and getting around. Scarcity forces us to prioritize. Okay, let's zoom out. We've talked about our own wallets, but what about the biggest budget of all, planet Earth? That's where the idea of scarcity gets really, really serious.
I love this slide because it shows the problem and the solution in one go. On the left, you've got the hard truth. Fossil fuels like oil and gas are limited. They will run out. And on the right, you see the economic choice we're making as a society, a massive pivot toward renewable energy. That's scarcity driving innovation.
And here's another really clever economic idea for dealing with this: the circular economy. The old way was take, make, and toss. This new model is about designing waste out of the system. Things like plastics get reused and recycled over and over. It's a fundamental economic shift to protect our finite resources for the long haul.
Now, scarcity isn't just about physical stuff. It also applies to people, to our skills, and to our jobs. The world of work is a massive, and I mean massive, part of this whole economic story.
You've probably heard a lot about this: robots and AI maybe taking jobs. Well, that's what economists call technological unemployment. When a new technology comes along, the human skills that used to be valuable and scarce can suddenly become, well, less so. It's a huge economic challenge. So what's the economic fix? Well, this quote absolutely nails it. You invest in people. You focus on education and training to give workers the new skills they need to adapt and thrive. It's probably the single most important investment a country can make to lower unemployment and grow its economy. So we've seen this problem of scarcity popping up everywhere: in the store, on our planet, in our careers. The good news is, economics isn't just about describing the problem. It actually gives us a toolkit for making better choices.
Okay, get ready, because this is maybe the single most important idea in all of economics. It's called opportunity cost. It's a simple idea with huge implications. The real cost of anything isn't the price tag. It's the value of the next best thing you had to give up to get it. It's the road not taken.
Let's make this super simple. You decide to study for an hour. The opportunity cost isn't zero. It's that hour of sleep you sacrificed. Or maybe it was an hour you could have spent with friends. Once you start seeing the world this way, you realize every single choice has a hidden price. So when you put it all together, you get this really simple but powerful four-step way of thinking. You start by just admitting that your resources, your time, your money are limited. Then you look at your options, and you always ask that critical question. What's the opportunity cost? What am I giving up? And that's how you go from just making a choice to making a conscious one.
And you know, that's what economics is really all about at the end of the day. It's not a book of answers, it's a way of thinking. It's a toolkit that helps you ask better questions about your own life and about the world around you. So with these tools in hand, what choice are you going to make next?